Question 1. What is the primary purpose of the Pennsylvania Insurance Department (PID) in regulating insurance adjusters? A. To provide legal advice to adjusters in the field. B. To ensure compliance with state and federal insurance regulations. C. To offer financial assistance to policyholders. D. To facilitate training programs for insurance companies. Answer: B. To ensure compliance with state and federal insurance regulations. Explanation: the Pennsylvania Insurance Department (PID) plays a crucial role in regulating the insurance industry within the state. Its primary purpose is to ensure that all insurance adjusters comply with both state and federal insurance regulations. This includes monitoring the licensing requirements, ensuring ethical conduct, and protecting consumers from unfair practices. The PID also enforces penalties for non-compliance with the law, thereby maintaining the integrity of the insurance market in Pennsylvania. The other options do not align with the PID's main functions. Question 2. Mr. Smith is a property adjuster assigned to a claim involving significant water damage due to a burst pipe in a commercial building. As part of his claims handling process, which valuation method should Mr. Smith consider to accurately assess the loss? A. Replacement cost. B. Actual cash value (ACV). C. Fair market value. D. Functional replacement cost. Answer: A. Replacement cost. Explanation: in the context of property insurance, the replacement cost method refers to the cost to replace damaged property with new property of like kind and quality without deducting for depreciation. This method is particularly important in cases involving substantial damage, such as that from a burst pipe. Mr. Smith should consider replacement cost because it provides the most accurate reflection of the actual loss experienced by the policyholder in cases of physical damage. Actual cash value (ACV) is calculated by taking the replacement cost and subtracting depreciation, which may undervalue the claim for the policyholder. Fair market value considers what the property would sell for on the open market, which is not always reflective of the insured's loss. Functional replacement cost refers to replacing property with less expensive but functionally equivalent materials, which may not be appropriate in commercial contexts where maintaining specific standards is necessary. By using the replacement cost method, Mr. Smith aligns with the policy's coverage terms and ensures fair treatment of the insured. Question 3. Scenario-based. Scenario: MS Johnson, a claims adjuster, is investigating a liability claim involving a slip and fall incident at a grocery store. Witnesses report that the floor was wet, but the store manager claims they had a wet floor sign out at the time of the accident. MS Johnson must determine the liability based on her findings. Which factor is the most critical for her assessment of the grocery store's liability? A. The existence of the wet floor sign and its visibility. B. The time it took for the manager to respond to the incident. C. The history of previous slip and fall claims at the grocery store. D. The condition of the flooring materials in the store. Answer: A. The existence of the wet floor sign and its visibility. Explanation: in liability claims, especially those involving slip and fall incidents, determining the presence and visibility of warnings, such as a wet floor sign, is critical in assessing liability. If the store had a visible sign warning patrons of the potential hazard, it may reduce their liability, as it demonstrates they took reasonable steps to mitigate the risk of injury. Option B is less relevant, and while a prompt response may be a factor in public relations, it does not directly affect liability. Option C, the history of previous claims, may provide context, but does not directly inform the specifics of this case. Option D is important for overall safety and maintenance considerations, but does not pertain directly to the immediate liability assessment based on the incident's circumstances. Therefore, the most crucial factor for MS Johnson's assessment is the existence and visibility of the warning sign, as it relates directly to the store's responsibility to inform patrons of hazards. Question 4. Which of the following is not considered a valid method for estimating property damage under the Pennsylvania property insurance regulations? A. Replacement cost. B. Actual cash value (ACV). C. Fair market value. D. Depreciated value. Answer: D. Depreciated value. Explanation: in property insurance, the common methods for estimating damage are replacement cost, actual cash value (SCV), and fair market value. The replacement cost method calculates the cost to replace the damaged property with a new one. ACV takes depreciation into account. By subtracting depreciation from replacement cost, and fair market value looks at what the property could be sold for in its damaged condition. Depreciated value, on the other hand, is not typically used as an independent method in property damage estimation but is a byproduct of the CV method. It doesn't represent a standalone valuation method in the insurance industry. Question 5. In a Pennsylvania auto insurance claim, if an adjuster suspects fraud, which of the following actions should the adjuster take first? A. Deny the claim immediately to avoid further issues. B. Notify the claimant that the claim is under investigation for fraud. C. Report the suspected fraud to the Special Investigative Unit. C. For further review. D. Contact law enforcement directly before proceeding with any further investigation. Answer. C. Report the suspected fraud to the Special Investigative Unit. C. For further review. Explanation. When fraud is suspected in an auto insurance claim, the adjuster should immediately report the matter to the Special Investigative Unit. C. For further analysis. SIs specialize in investigating potential fraud and have the expertise and resources to conduct detailed investigations. It is not appropriate for the adjuster to deny the claim immediately or to contact law enforcement directly without first following internal procedures, as this could jeopardize the process or violate privacy laws. Option B is also incorrect because prematurely informing the claimant about the investigation could lead to interference with the investigation. Question 6. Which of the following is a key characteristic of a unilateral insurance contract? A. Both the insurer and the policyholder are obligated to perform actions under the contract. B. Only the insurer is obligated to perform actions under the contract. C. Only the policyholder is obligated to perform actions under the contract. D. Both the insurer and the policyholder share responsibility for losses. Answer. B. Only the insurer is obligated to perform actions under the contract. Explanation. A unilateral contract is defined as a contract in which only one party, typically the insurer, is obligated to perform an action or make a payment under the terms of the contract. In an insurance policy, the insurer is responsible for paying the claims if certain conditions are met. In contrast, the policyholder provides consideration by paying premiums, but they are not obligated to do anything other than pay the premiums for the contract to remain in force. Option it describes a bilateral contract, and option C is incorrect because the policyholder is not the sole party responsible for actions. Question 7. Scenario-based. Scenario. Mr. Roberts is a claims adjuster assigned to a general liability claim. The claimant alleges that he slipped and fell in a supermarket and suffered a back injury. The supermarket has provided evidence that they regularly maintain the premises, including daily cleaning schedules and safety inspections. What is the most likely defense the supermarket may use to avoid liability? A. Assumption of risk. B. Contributory negligence. C. Comparative negligence. D. Waiver of subrogation. Answer A. Assumption of risk. Explanation. In liability claims, a defense often used in slip and fall cases is assumption of risk, which occurs when the claimant knowingly involuntarily exposes themselves to risk that leads to injury. In this case, if the supermarket can prove that the injured person was aware of the conditions, such as wet falls or other potential hazards, and still chose to proceed in that area, they may argue that the claimant assumed the risk of injury. Contributory negligence and comparative negligence options B and C could apply if the claimant's actions contributed to the incident, but assumption of risk is more directly relevant given the context. Waiver of subrogation is unrelated to this type of liability claim and is more pertinent to insurance recovery issues. Question 8. Which of the following is an example of moral hazard in the context of insurance claims? A. A policyholder deliberately misrepresents their property value in an insurance application. B. A policyholder purchases excessive insurance coverage on their property. C. A policyholder's actions increase the likelihood of a claim due to their lifestyle choices. D. A policyholder experiences a loss due to an unforeseeable event like a fire or flood. Answer. C. A policyholder's actions increase the likelihood of a claim due to their lifestyle choices. Explanation. Moral hazard occurs when a person's behavior changes as a result of having insurance, and those changes increase the likelihood or severity of a claim. In this case, a policyholder who behaves recklessly or in a way that increases the chances of a claim, e.g., leaving the front door unlocked, engaging in dangerous activities, would be creating a moral hazard. Option A refers to fraud, which is a separate issue. Option B refers to overinsurance, and option D involves fortuitous events which do not relate to moral hazard. Question 9. In Pennsylvania, which of the following is a required minimum coverage for automobile insurance under the state's no-fault insurance law? A. Liability insurance for property damage only. B. Personal injury protection (PIP) coverage. C. Uninsured motorist coverage. D. Collision coverage. Answer. B. Personal injury protection, PIP coverage. Explanation. Under Pennsylvania's no-fault insurance law, all drivers must carry personal injury protection, PIP coverage, which covers medical expenses and lost wages regardless of fault. This is a key element of the state's auto insurance requirements. While uninsured motorist and collision coverage are recommended, they are not mandatory in Pennsylvania. Liability insurance for property damage is required, but PIP coverage is the foundational component of Pennsylvania's no-fault system. Question 10. Which of the following is an example of an obligatory contract in the context of insurance? A. A contract where the premium paid is fixed and the benefit amount is also fixed. B. A contract where the insurer's obligation is conditional upon the occurrence of a specified event. C. A contract where both parties must perform specific obligations. D. A contract where one party has a guaranteed return regardless of circumstances. Answer. B. A contract where the insurer's obligation is conditional upon the occurrence of a specified event. Explanation. An aleatory contract is a type of contract in which the insurer's obligation to pay benefits depends on the occurrence of a specific event, which may or may not happen. Insurance contracts are typically aleatory because the insurer's obligation to pay is contingent upon the occurrence of a covered event, e.g., an accident or loss. This makes it different from contracts where the terms and obligations are fixed for both parties. Option A describes a fixed agreement, which is not aleatory, and Option C describes a bilateral contract, which is not specific to insurance. Option D describes a contract where the return is guaranteed, which is not an aleatory contract either. Question 11. Which of the following is a violation of Pennsylvania's unfair claims settlement practices regulations? A. An adjuster delaying payment of a claim without a valid reason. B. An adjuster offering to settle a claim for the policyholder's full coverage limit. C. An adjuster notifying the claimant of claim denial within the required time frame. D. An adjuster providing a detailed explanation of claim denial based on policy terms. Answer A. An adjuster delaying payment of a claim without a valid reason. Explanation. Under Pennsylvania's unfair claims settlement practices regulations, adjusters are prohibited from delaying the payment of claims without valid reasons. Insurers are expected to investigate, evaluate, and settle claims promptly and fairly. Delays in processing claims without justifiable cause can lead to penalties and sanctions by the state insurance department. The other options describe actions that are consistent with standard claims handling procedures and do not violate Pennsylvania's unfair practices regulations. Question 12. In Pennsylvania, which of the following would NOT typically be covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Fire damage to the dwelling. B. Theft of personal property. C. Flood damage. D. Liability for injuries occurring on the property. Answer. C. Flood damage. Explanation. Standard homeowners insurance policies typically cover risks such as fire damage, theft, and liability for injuries on the property. However, flood damage is generally excluded from standard homeowners policies and requires separate flood insurance coverage. Homeowners in flood-prone areas are often encouraged to obtain a policy through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) or a private insurer. Question 13. Under Pennsylvania law, what is the maximum penalty an insurer may face for failing to comply with a written request for documents related to an insurance claim? A. $100 per day. B. $500 per day. C. $1,000 per day. D. $10,000 per day. Answer. C. $1,000 per day. Explanation. Under Pennsylvania insurance regulations, an insurer that fails to comply with a written request for documentation regarding a claim may be fined up to $1,000 per day for each day of non-compliance. This penalty serves as a deterrent against unjustified delays and encourages insurers to maintain transparency in their claims handling processes. Question 14. Which of the following best describes the purpose of the Pennsylvania Insurance Department's Market Conduct Division? A. To regulate premium rates for insurance policies. B. To oversee the financial solvency of insurance companies. C. To ensure insurers and agents adhere to fair practices in the marketplace. D. To provide educational resources to consumers regarding insurance products. Answer. C. To ensure insurers and agents adhere to fair practices in the marketplace. Explanation. The Market Conduct Division of the Pennsylvania Insurance Department focuses on ensuring that insurance companies and agents comply with state laws and regulations governing fair and ethical conduct in the insurance marketplace. This division investigates complaints, monitors marketing practices, and enforces compliance to protect consumers from unfair treatment. Question 15. In the event of a liability claim against a Pennsylvania homeowner, what is the primary purpose of the homeowner's liability insurance coverage? A. To provide funds for home repairs. B. To pay for medical expenses of injured guests. C. To cover damages to personal property. D. To reimburse the insured for lost wages due to injury. Answer: B. To pay for medical expenses of injured guests. Explanation: Homeowners' liability insurance is primarily designed to protect the homeowner from claims arising from injuries or damages to other persons on their property. This includes covering medical expenses for guests who may be injured due to the homeowner's negligence, as well as legal defense costs if the homeowner is sued as a result of an incident on their premises. Question 16. In Pennsylvania, what is the primary difference between occurrence and claims-made liability insurance policies? A. The timing of the claim submission. B. The type of coverage provided. C. The deductible amounts. D. The limit of liability. Answer A. The timing of the claim submission. Explanation: The key difference between occurrence and claims-made policies lies in the timing of the claim. Occurrence policies cover claims based on when the incident happened, regardless of when the claim is reported. In contrast, claims-made policies cover claims only if the claim is made during the policy period, regardless of when the incident occurred. This distinction is crucial for policyholders to understand in managing their liability exposures. Question 17. What is the purpose of the Pennsylvania Workers' Compensation Act? A. To provide health insurance coverage to injured workers. B. To establish a no-fault system for compensating employees injured on the job. C. To protect employers from liability for workplace injuries. D. To provide training programs for safe work practices. Answer: B. To establish a no-fault system for compensating employees injured on the job. Explanation: The Pennsylvania Workers' Compensation Act is designed to provide a no-fault system that compensates employees for work-related injuries and illnesses, regardless of fault. This means that injured workers can receive benefits for medical expenses, lost wages, and rehabilitation without needing to prove negligence on the part of their employer. This system aims to protect both employees and employers by ensuring prompt compensation and limiting lawsuits related to workplace injuries. Question 18. If a policyholder fails to disclose a significant pre-existing condition when applying for health insurance in Pennsylvania, what could be the potential consequence? A. The insurance company must honor the claim regardless of disclosure. B. The insurance company may deny coverage for that condition. C. The policyholder will be subject to a higher premium. D. The insurance company must provide coverage for at least 1 year. Answer: B. The insurance company may deny coverage for that condition. Explanation: Failure to disclose significant pre-existing conditions during the application process can result in the insurance company denying coverage for that specific condition. Insurers rely on accurate disclosures to assess risk accurately and determine eligibility. Depending on the terms of the policy and state regulations, non-disclosure may lead to denial of claims related to the undisclosed condition, as it could be considered a form of misrepresentation. Question 19. Under the Pennsylvania Unfair Insurance Practices Act, which of the following practices is considered illegal? A. Providing a claimant with a detailed explanation of their claim denial. B. Misrepresenting policy provisions or benefits to the insured. C. Offering discounts for bundling insurance policies. D. Adjusting claims based on new market conditions. Answer: B. Misrepresenting policy provisions or benefits to the insured. Explanation: Misrepresentation of policy provisions or benefits constitutes an illegal practice under the Pennsylvania Unfair Insurance Practices Act. Insurers and agents must provide accurate and truthful information about policies and their coverage. This is to prevent misleading consumers and ensuring that they understand their insurance products. Other practices listed are either permissible or part of standard business operations. Question 20. Which of the following statements about the Pennsylvania Property Insurance Guarantee Corporation (PIC) is true? A. It provides coverage for all types of insurance policies. B. It protects policyholders in the event their insurer becomes insolvent. C. It only covers commercial property policies. D. It is a federal program established under the National Insurance Act. Answer: B. It protects policyholders in the event their insurer becomes insolvent. Explanation: The Pennsylvania Property Insurance Guarantee Corporation (PIC) is designed to protect policyholders by providing coverage in cases where their insurance company becomes insolvent. It operates similarly to state-backed guarantee funds and covers various property insurance policies, but does not cover all types or commercial policies exclusively. It is not a federal program, but rather a state-level initiative. Question 21. In Pennsylvania, if an insurance agent changes their address, how long do they have to notify the Pennsylvania Insurance Department? A. 10 days. B. 15 days. C. 30 days. D. 60 days. Answer: C. 30 days. Explanation: in Pennsylvania, insurance agents are required to notify the Pennsylvania Insurance Department of any change in address within 30 days. This is crucial for maintaining accurate records and ensuring that all communications and licensing documents reach the agent promptly. Question 22. Which type of insurance provides coverage for medical expenses and lost wages incurred by an employee due to a work-related injury, regardless of fault? A. General liability insurance. B. Workers' compensation insurance. C. Employers' liability insurance. D. Professional liability insurance. Answer: B. Workers' compensation insurance. Explanation: workers' compensation insurance is specifically designed to provide coverage for medical expenses and lost wages for employees who sustain injuries or illnesses in the course of their employment, regardless of who is at fault. This system is established to protect both employees and employers from the financial burdens of workplace injuries. Question 23. In Pennsylvania, which of the following is not a required component of a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Dwelling coverage. B. Personal liability coverage. C. Medical payments coverage. D. Flood coverage. Answer: D. Flood coverage. Explanation: while a homeowner's insurance policy typically includes dwelling coverage, personal liability coverage, and medical payments coverage, flood coverage is not a standard component and usually requires a separate policy, often through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). Homeowners in flood-prone areas are advised to seek this additional coverage. Question 24. What is the purpose of the Insurance Fraud Prevention Authority in Pennsylvania? A. To oversee the financial stability of insurance companies. B. To regulate premium rates for insurers. C. To investigate and prevent insurance fraud. D. To provide consumer education about insurance products. Answer: C. To investigate and prevent insurance fraud. Explanation: the Insurance Fraud Prevention Authority in Pennsylvania is responsible for investigating and preventing insurance fraud. It works to ensure the integrity of the insurance market by detecting fraudulent activities and educating consumers and professionals about the consequences of insurance fraud. Question 25. Under the Pennsylvania Unfair Insurance Practices Act, which of the following actions would be considered a deceptive practice? A. Offering a low premium for a policy renewal. B. Denying a claim based on a valid policy exclusion. C. Failing to provide a timely response to a claim. D. Providing an accurate description of policy coverage. Answer: C. Failing to provide a timely response to a claim. Explanation: failing to provide a timely response to a claim can be considered a deceptive practice under the Pennsylvania Unfair Insurance Practices Act. Insurers are obligated to respond to claims promptly and communicate effectively with policyholders to maintain transparency and fairness in the claims process. Question 26. If a policyholder in Pennsylvania experiences a total loss of their insured property, which of the following is typically true regarding the settlement process? A. The insurer must pay the policy limit regardless of the actual cash value. B. The insurer can deny the claim if the property was not maintained. C. The policyholder may need to provide proof of ownership and value of the lost items. D. The insurer is required to replace the lost property with new items of equal value. Answer: C. The policyholder may need to provide proof of ownership and value of the lost items. Explanation: in the event of a total loss, the policyholder typically must provide proof of ownership and the value of the lost items to facilitate the claims process. Insurers will assess the claim based on the coverage provided in the policy, which may be for actual cash value or replacement cost, depending on the policy terms. Question 27. Which of the following best describes underwriting in the context of insurance? A. The process of investigating claims. B. The process of setting premium rates. C. The evaluation of risks and exposures to determine coverage eligibility. D. The marketing strategy used to sell insurance products. Answer: C. The evaluation of risks and exposures to determine coverage eligibility. Explanation. Underwriting refers to the process through which insurers evaluate the risks associated with insuring a person or property. Underwriters assess various factors to determine whether to accept the risk and on what terms, including the appropriate premium rates and coverage limits. Question 28. In Pennsylvania, what must an insurer do if it decides to non-renew a policy? A. Notify the policyholder 30 days before the policy expiration. B. Provide a full refund of the premium. C. Offer an alternative policy with similar coverage. D. Notify the policyholder only if they request it. Answer A. Notify the policyholder 30 days before the policy expiration. Explanation. In Pennsylvania, if an insurer chooses to non-renew a policy, it is required to notify the policyholder at least 30 days before the policy's expiration date. This allows the policyholder time to seek alternative coverage without a lapse in protection. Question 29. Which of the following could be a reason for an insurance company to deny a claim under a homeowner's policy? A. The claim was filed within the policy's coverage period. B. The damage was caused by a covered peril such as fire. C. The property was vacant for more than 60 days prior to the loss. D. The insurer provided all necessary documentation promptly. Answer. C. The property was vacant for more than 60 days prior to the loss. Explanation. Many homeowners' policies contain a vacancy clause that excludes coverage if the property has been vacant for an extended period, often more than 60 days, before a loss occurs. If the insurer can prove that the property was vacant, they may deny the claim even if the loss was due to a covered peril. Question 30. Which of the following actions would likely be considered a violation of the Pennsylvania Insurance Department's regulations regarding the handling of claims? A. Promptly investigating and resolving claims within the policy terms. B. Failing to provide a written explanation for the denial of a claim. C. Offering a settlement amount that is lower than the estimated damages. D. Communicating with the insured to gather necessary information for claim processing. Answer. B. Failing to provide a written explanation for the denial of a claim. Explanation. Under Pennsylvania regulations, insurers are required to provide a written explanation for the denial of a claim. This is crucial for transparency and allows the policyholder to understand the reasons behind the denial and consider their options for appeal or further action. Failing to provide this explanation can be viewed as a violation of the regulations governing fair claims practices.